Okay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our webinars. I know it's been quite some time since I've been online with everyone, so super excited to chat with you all today. I'm going to give us just a couple of minutes here while I watch our attendance numbers go up and make sure everyone is here. There's a slight delay, in our webinars and kind of how it works when we stream. So I'm just going to kind of fill the time here. Now, when you come in, try and find that chat and Q&A section over there. That's going to be where we are going to be taking questions, and I'll be monitoring that as we go through it. Also, make sure that you say hi. Use that chat channel. Come in, say hi. Let us know where you're from, where you're joining from, and that will let me know that you can hear me and everything's good. And also, I like to see where everyone's from. Get to kind of see who's all joined. I'm sure I will recognize some of your names, so please don't be shy. Hi, Melissa. Chris. Hello, Kristen, Bob. All right, now we're starting to get some people joined. All right, so we've got some people all over the place: Michigan, Florida, Nebraska, South Carolina, California. Awesome to have everybody here. This is great. It's been so long since I've done a webinar. I think several months at least. So a lot of fun. Now, usually I have a guest with me. Today you're kind of stuck with only me. So hopefully I'm not going to bore you too much, but we'll be good. I love talking about new things, and today we're going to talk about a lot of new things. So, all right, let me see. How are we doing with our attendance here? Yeah, I think we are good to get started. Everybody's out of the waiting room, and we've got plenty of people here that have joined. So welcome, everybody. We're going to get right into it today. I don't know if we're going to take this entire hour. My guess is, depending on questions we have, we might get out a little bit sooner. But we are here today to talk about web chat. Now, just to give us a little bit more time, I wanted to share something with you that I had the best experience. I know a lot of us, out here, I talk with a lot of different agents and things like that. And a lot of people have kids that are in the same age range of kids that I have. Anyway, we played this game over the last weekend, Cards Against Humanity. We've all played it probably before with our adult friends, but they have a family edition now, and it was the best time we have had in a long time. So I wanted to just put this out here and say, if you have kids, let's see, 12, 14, teenagers. I have a daughter who is in college. She's 20 now, and she came and played the game. It was just the best time ever. Stacy says, so fun. You've probably played this. I know we're not here to talk about Cards Against Humanity, but I just think that I wanted to share this with you all to have fun with your families and give this game a try, because you'll be surprised how creative your kids are and some of the things that they come up with. But wow, it was a lot of fun. And okay, so I know we're here to talk about work though, so I want to start to get into that. And we are going to talk about web chat a lot today. But before we do that, it's been a long time since I've had a chance to connect with some of my customers, and I wanted to give you guys just an update of what Rocket Referrals has been up to and how we've helped people. I'm going to spend just a couple of minutes on this, and I ran some numbers, and I wanted to share some really neat stats with you guys, or with everyone here. So we've collected over 1 million testimonials. I mean, that blew my mind when I looked at how many testimonials we've collected, or the agencies have collected on our platform. And they've added more than 200,000 online reviews, Google reviews and Facebook reviews. Now, interestingly, I don't normally talk about the number of reviews that people have, because there's a lot of things that are more important than the number of reviews. But when we looked at how many have been collected, I was really happy with this number. But also, we looked at how many more we have in the tank, because our strategy here is to help you collect reviews over time, and to be consistent about that. And we have also looked at how many average places in Google SEO rank people have gone up, and it's several spots. On average, people are going up in the Google rank just by the method that we use for Google reviews, and it was a really cool number to see. We looked at how much commission we've helped people retain just across retaining detractors alone. It's $71 million in commission. This is not premium. This is commission dollars that's straight in your pocket. And I just found that to be pretty awesome. I mean, that's a huge number. When we set out to build Rocket Referrals many years ago, we really want to help independent agencies. That's the thing. I talk about Cards Against Humanity. A lot of you guys out there are families, and we're here to help improve your family businesses and make your agencies better, and that's really, really important for us. So this is a huge number, and hopefully you guys are feeling that difference and it's making an impact, because that's what we're here to do. Have sent more than 20 million pieces of communication. That's a lot of communication to people all across the country. I mean, that's a huge number, and I just think that it's pretty awesome to have this platform that sent so much communication. So just 4 quick stats I wanted to share across the board. I also wanted to talk very quickly about some of the enhancements that we've made over the last year. So we've definitely focused a lot on integrations with different management systems. We have new integrations with Partner Platform. You might have known them as Partner XE in the past. I know that really the name of their platform is Partner Platform. Donna, Varuna, Neon, new integrations that we have available. We've enhanced our integrations with Hawksoft. We built this really neat tool called Sidecar. If you haven't seen that in your integration settings, I highly suggest you check that out. It's a very unique tool. And we've made a lot of enhancements with AMS 360. Also, Vertafore launched Vertafore Client Communications, which is powered by Rocket Referrals. And that's a really neat way that a company has, that we've worked directly with a company to provide a really awesome offering to people that are using AMS 360, that are on specific versions of their product. And I think that's a huge add. I mean, we were able to really help a lot of agencies, on that platform. So that's been an amazing project for us, and super excited. I would love to do more projects like this down, with other providers as well. Text messaging, has been released. So we've talked about text messaging a lot, and really text messaging was the first piece of what we're calling our unified communications platform, and web chat is the next thing I'm going to talk about today. We have thought all along that this is the way that you communicate with customers cannot be single channel. It's got to be lots of different ways. We've done handwritten cards, email, text messaging, web chat, social, all of the things. And so adding web chat was one of those that we were super excited to add on, and now web chat on top of that is going to be even better, and I'm excited about that today. New automations and one-time communication templates. So something that we take very seriously is not just publishing copy out there, templates for emails that we don't do it to say that we've got it. We make sure that they're effective, that these automations and things have been well thought through, and that they've been tested and they're effective when we put them out there. And we have an entirely new system to be able to push these templates out, to monitor their success, and also update them and keep them updated. So we're looking at stats behind the scenes all the time and updating them. And so we've been consistently putting out new templates for you. We've added a lot more statistics like open and click tracking, on email. In fact, we've always had those, behind the scenes, because our system uses the open and click tracking and things like that to be able to change how we communicate with people. But we didn't really always make it easy to show you those open and click tracking. Just so you know, primarily because a lot of times when we'd say, well, what are you going to use that information for? There wasn't really a good answer. And what we found out is really you just wanted to know how well it's, working, whether or not people are really paying attention to those things. Now, we know that sometimes a low open rate isn't always a bad thing. It might mean that those open pixels are being blocked or something like that. But we really pay attention to the clicks and understand how many times people are clicking on things. And so we did put that more in the platform so you can see what those rates are, and now you can see kind of what we can see. And we're going to continue to enhance those and make them better over time as well. And we have some really neat enhancements planned for that later this year that you're going to be able to use to change how you communicate with customers too. And the Conversations mobile app, if you're using text messaging today and you haven't downloaded the Conversations mobile app, just search for Rocket Referrals or Rocket Referrals Conversations in the App Store or Google Play Store, and download that app because it really makes working with text messaging and now web chat a lot easier, for your customers. So all in all, I want everybody to know on the call here that our goal is to be the best communication platform for you to communicate with your customers, so that you don't need to think about it, so that you don't need to worry about how do I communicate with someone, or when do I communicate with someone, what do I say. We're really trying to be that, not just a software system for you that you can use, but also to answer those questions and be able to make it easy to actually achieve those. And so over time, we're continually making enhancements and working on that. And so this, web chat is really our next step. This is not something that we just white labeled another product and connected the dots. This is something that we built from the ground up using the latest web technologies and really thinking about how people should deploy web chat. And we have really loved building this because we got to build in some sort of future-proof some things and really lay out a roadmap for how web chat's going to be enhanced over the next 2 years to continue to build upon this and make it better. Also, we already have this amazing communication platform with emails and all of in text messaging. So we could really integrate this very tightly into those existing ways that you communicate. And we're really excited with what we've come up with. So this screenshot is just one of a sample agency. If you have done business with us for any period of time, that we love our fictitious insurance company called Jurgens Insurance. And I'm still waiting for the day that we come across someone that has the last name Jurgens and they have an insurance agency. But if that's you out there, and you want the domain jurgensinsurance.com, I'll happily give it to you, and we'll come up with a new agency just to let you know. I'm not going to hoard that domain for someone that's really Jurgens Insurance. All right, so why web chat? What are the things about web chat that make it what it is? Why is it popular? Why would I want it on my website? What's it actually used for? Well, I like to simplify a lot of things. I could talk about fancy stats here and there and percentages and all of that, but I really want to just get down to the most simple aspect of things, on webinars and things like this. And if you ever want to geek out on stats behind the scenes, then give us a call. We're happy to talk about that. But primarily, from our perspective, the web chat is a component of communication that you need to have. At the end of the day, you're going to keep more customers and you're going to win more new business when you communicate with people in ways that they prefer. Notice that it didn't say when you have web chat or when you have text messaging, right? A lot of people like to throw out text messaging is so effective with this and web chat's this, so here, and email that. I understand all of those stats, but really the most important thing is that you have a wide variety of ways that you communicate with people so that you are there for them the way that they communicate the most effectively, because you're going to be the most effective with any one individual person when you are communicating with them on their terms. that becomes a really difficult thing to do, right? How do you provide so many different ways to communicate with people and still be able to manage that in your team? And so that's the problem we're set out to solve. How can we help an agency communicate with customers on web chat and text message and email and the mail, and still be able to keep everything straight and to automate it all? And that's what we're doing. That's why we are adding web chat to it, and why I think you need to have web chat. If you already have web chat, that's awesome. I think that then the next step for you is, how does that integrate into my management system, and how does that integrate into my email and my text messaging and all of the other things, so that I can have one single threaded conversation with people. And so again, my point that I'm trying to make is, web chat is one component of all of the ways that you should be communicating with customers, or that you should have available for customers to communicate with you. And a lot of people prefer web chat. And so it's a large majority, a large percent, I don't want to say majority, I think it's like 41% or something like that, that when they come to your website and they see that you have web chat, they're going to choose that over texting you or giving you a call. Or sending an email, and there's reasons for that, right? Web chat, when you're online, it's very quick, so they can have that real-time conversation. And so generally people are choosing web chat for conversations that they want a more instant response. They want to really be able to speak with someone, and so they know that they can get that on web chat, and that's why they prefer that. Also, from a text messaging standpoint, they know that when they text you, they are giving you their phone number. And if they're not quite ready to go over that boundary, they're going to choose web chat. I do that myself. I'm not going to just give you my phone number unless I'm ready for that. And so that's a signal also. It's a signal for you to understand that when someone who doesn't do business with us is choosing web chat, they're just not quite ready. I think a lot of systems out there are prompting people to put in their phone number and things like that, and they don't realize how many people they're actually turning away that would eventually get there if they had that initial conversation with them. So a lot of people do prefer web chat. And visitors in general are more satisfied when you're available through chat. So you're able to get those questions and those questions answered more quickly, and get people kind of on their way and moving through the process. So this saves them time, but also saves your team time, right? So you're not going to have a big backlog of things that you need to get back to, and helps you resolve things a lot faster. So if you think about how long it may take an email conversation versus a web chat conversation, there's a big difference in how quickly something can be resolved. So we think that that's one of the reasons people are generally more satisfied available through chat. Now, an important thing that I want to say here is, I'm not saying chat bots here. Actually, when you look at chat bots, the number of people that are generally satisfied with a chat bot are relatively low. We're talking about having a real conversation with people, and you're going to cross-sell more too. So people that have a product with you, they will still visit your website and use web chat, and honestly, they're going to assume that you have all of their information there and they're ready to answer questions and things like that. So you'll be able to pull up their details and be able to help them through whatever scenario that is very quickly. And the cross-sell opportunity, believe it or not, on web chat is very, very good, because people who are already doing business with you are already visiting your website for one reason or another. It could be for service-related issues. It could be to just get your phone number because they need to call and they see you have web chat and they'll talk. So there's another really, really important reason to have that. Let me pull up my Q&A just to make sure. I'm getting some questions about recording. Yeah, this conversation is being recorded, and you'll get some email after this with the link to the recording, just FYI for everyone who's on the call. So what makes our web chat different? everyone knows that, when we build things, we are thinking about the problems very carefully, the problems that people have. Also, we're thinking about the future. What problems are people going to have, and what opportunities are being missed? And that's how it went about building web chat. We take our position as a company in this market very seriously. I understand that we are looking at problems a little bit differently than other people. Our job is to think about how we can use technology to make your agency more effective and build brand new solutions on top of that, and then be able to create those things. And web chat is no exception to that. And a lot of web chats that have been built, they've been built on older technologies, and things that are going to have issues with third-party cookies, or they're not tracking right, or they're not integrated the right way. And so we wanted to really start from scratch and build something that we can continue to build on over the years and solve today's problems. So first of all, one of the most important things, and probably the biggest issue that we had here, was we wanted to be able to know when someone visits your website who that person is. And so if you've ever communicated with anybody through Rocket Referrals and they click a link, in that email, or they respond in that email in some way, then we'll know who that person is when they visit your site. And you're probably thinking, whoa, my goodness, how did they do that, given how many browsers are blocking third-party tracking cookies and things like that? This is a huge privacy issue now. If you have read the news, you know how hardcore Apple is on this, and how they are blocking things like even open tracking pixels and things like that in email. This is a very serious thing for people who are trying to service their customers, because at the end of the day, everyone on this call is not sending out mass marketing and you're using third-party cookies to track your customers from one website to another so that you can present ads to them. However, that is a problem in the industry, and what they're doing is they're taking an axe to the whole thing, and that makes it more difficult for people like you who want to use the ability to use tracking cookies and things to better service your customers. And at the end of the day, if that was the only way tracking cookies would be used for, Apple and Google would be all for it. Being able to service customers more easily is something they love and they enjoy. But that's not the world that we live in, right? Third-party tracking cookies are going away. The ability that we have to track customers is going away. And it becomes even more difficult for companies like Rocket Referrals and other people who provide a service for you to communicate with customers, the ability to track, because a lot of times they host their systems and their things on their domains. Like we would maybe host it on Rocket Referrals domain, or another company's domain. Well, we have created an entirely new infrastructure, and I'm super happy about how we put this together, and I think it's very unique. But this web chat runs on your domain, and when I say that, what I mean is, yes, of course, every web chat's going to be living on your website, but when I say that it runs on your domain, it means that you get to the web chat using jurgensinsurance.com. The web chat runs inside of that. It doesn't communicate with rocketreferrals.com servers. It communicates with jurgensinsurance.com servers. No, you don't need to host any servers or anything like that. We take all of that for you. Just a couple of DNS settings that you need to change. And essentially what that means is if your customers were to look at it, or if Google were to look at it, or Apple, they would assume that this web chat is your web chat. It's very similar to how we do handwritten cards. When we put the logo on the back, we don't put our logo on it. We don't put, if you're send out cards, you get send out cards postmark on it. We don't do that. We want customers to know that you built it. So it's very, very important that it runs on your domain. It makes it easier for your team members to work together. I'm going to give a demo of this so you can see. But one of the things that was really, really important for us is how does web chat work when I have multiple people doing, working with customers? How is it that we communicate with one another, and how do we service customers? Because at the end of the day, it's about, I have a web chat that comes in, who's going to be able to take it, and how's that going to work? And it uses the same app as text messaging, so you don't need to juggle multiple tools. So that means that you can have an app installed on your phone and have web chat on your phone, on your browser, tablet, wherever it is that you install that app or you log in. And that means that you can be available, or you can have somebody available, and respond to people quickly, just like texting. So I want to now get into a demo. I'm going to show you what this thing looks like from a customer's perspective and also a team's perspective. So let me flip over to my screen here. I know this looks kind of crazy because I have 3 different screens up, but before I demo this, I want to just show you what I have open so that it makes sense. This window behind me, this is what a person would see when they go to your website. And we have a little chat widget down here with a nice happy face icon. And this is jurgensinsurance.com. Runs on HTTPS. It's just a very basic site. So imagine when I have this window open, this is my web visitor. This is someone who's visiting my website. Then down here, I have a couple of different other browser windows. Now, essentially what I'm doing in this demo is I'm playing 3 people. Okay, so I've got 3 different people on here. We got our web visitor up here, and then down here I have CJ. This is Carl Jurgens, someone who works at Jurgens Insurance, and he has the conversation app open, and he's just looking for inbound conversations. And then over here we have Jane Jurgens, and Jane also works at the agency, and is also logged into the web chat. One of the really neat things about our web chat is, again, speaking of how teams work well together with this, is you can actually see what other team members are doing. So Jane can see that Carl Jurgens is working on this Brooke conversation. And over here, you can see this is the conversation that Carl has open. And as Carl moves around, if I go look at visitor 77, you'll see, watch this icon over here. Actually, Jane saw that Carl moved down to this conversation. So how is this useful? Well, as visitors are coming into the website, you don't want to have people spending duplicate time working on the same issues, right? So if you didn't have the ability to see who is looking at which conversations, you don't know who's about to respond to something, and how are we going, who's actually going to take that. So hopefully what this does for you is it removes the reason. One of the ways people solve this problem in other softwares is you have to take a conversation, or you have to do something like that, and that's very essentially done for you automatically. We wanted to really make it as easy as possible for you to just work in here and show the information to other team members, so that it's very easy to understand. And it works the other way around. So now if I'm on this conversation, Dan can see that Jane is looking at this one. Well, okay, so what if Carl Jurgens was looking at this conversation and wanted to see what is he about to say. Hi, I have a question. Hello, what is your question? And one thing you'll notice, as Jane is typing the response, Carl over here can see what this draft message is. And so he can respond to Jane real quickly and say, no, that's a mistake. He can say, actually, you should. And you'll see that as Carl is typing that, Jane starts to see the conversation here. And so they can essentially collaborate on the conversation just by using the conversation tool. You don't need to jump into anything else, and it works really, really nicely. So what does that look like from the customer's perspective? Well, I have a page up here, and I haven't started a conversation yet, but I'm about to do that. Hi there. And if I send a message, you'll see immediately that conversation pops in, over here, and Jane can start to work on that conversation. I'm going to just drag this over briefly so that you can see as Jane is typing here. We don't necessarily want to show the customer what Jane is typing right away, but we do give the customer some feedback and let you know that they are typing so that they can wait for a response. But what's even better than that, let's erase this really quickly. And let's say the customer starts to type, I'd like to know where I can. And what you'll see here is the agent can see what the customer is typing before they press enter. Why would we do that? Well, one of the things about quick response is if you can anticipate the question that people are going to have before they even hit enter. And auto, what are you thinking that they're going to say? An auto quote, this isn't an existing customer. So you can start to prepare for this, and you can actually see as people are typing their question or their response. And so this means that I can actually start typing something and have it ready to hit send before the customer even hits enter. And that's going to mean that you have instant response, and you'll be really surprised at how big of a difference this makes. And so we really, really love that feature. It's such an awesome thing. So I talked a little bit about how we can determine whether customers are in here or not. So as you notice right now, this is just visitor 78. We give each visitor a unique icon and also a number so that you can identify them. If they happen to say their name, then you can go over and assign it to a contact. You can assign it to a specific person, and also you can change the name if you want to. But what I have here is it's a sample survey link. It's as if this person responded to a Net Promoter Score survey. So if you're familiar with Rocket Referrals, we use NPS. And let's say they've clicked on that email and they would see this link. And now when I look at this page, we'll know that this is actually Bruce. And so it will automatically assign that name. Hey, there it is. We have Bruce Wayne that we've been speaking with. Now this is Bruce. We already knew that that was Bruce, right? Because we have their name up here. So we take away, all of the hard work that goes into figuring out who is, actually looking at my website, or they customers or not. All you need to do is communicate with people in the way that you've always done it. And we have found all of those ways to automatically determine who your customers are. Now, the best part about this is when you set up web chat and you do all of the DNS settings, which by the way take you about 30 seconds to do if you're on sort of a modern registrar, very, very quickly. When you do that, we will track every email that you send out. So any email, any link, it could be to Google, it could be anywhere. We will know what person it is that clicks on that link, and then when they revisit your website, we will be able to figure out who they are. So the possibilities here are endless, and we're really excited to talk about some of the things later this year that we're going to be releasing that help you with how we can use that. Right now, the most important thing to know is that when people come into web chat, if you've already communicated with them, you'll know who they are. And that's a really, really great feature because it helps you resolve things really quickly. And we also link it up into a profile for the contact as well. So it's very easy for you to see just a high-level overview of who that customer is and details. This particular demo doesn't demo customer as a prospect, and they don't really have any sample data. But if they were a customer, you'd see all of their products here and that type of thing. So we really love web chat, and the way that we've implemented it, we've made it very easy to for teams to work really quickly together, to make it easy for your customers to respond, and feel like we have the perfect mix of features for this first release, and we're super excited to have it. So I'm going to start to look at chat questions that or Q&A that we have here. Oh, yeah, it kind of feels like Slack. So Carrie, yes, there's some aspect to that in here. I mean, obviously, this is built for customers. One of the problems with Slack is that your customers don't have Slack. Or they might have Slack, but it's just not made for. It's made more for businesses to communicate together, not for your customers. Now, Slack integrations, Microsoft Teams integrations are coming. They're going to be down the road. So at least you will know when new people come in. You might get a Slack notification and things like that. So we are working on those, and that's going to be a fun thing for us to build. Also, we are building in the ability to link this to Facebook and Google Chat. So you'll be able to use this one place to communicate with people through email, chat, Facebook, Google, all of the things. And that's going to be really, really killer. So we'll have Facebook very soon, and then we're going to move on to Google, and then our Slack, Microsoft Teams integration. Okay, so that's some of the questions. We're getting some questions about the setup and hours. So I want to show you that piece. So let me see if I'm logged into the right account here. Hopefully I am. Actually, there we go. Edit web chat channels. We wanted to make it very easy for you to set up channels and to modify business hours and things like that, right? So a couple of things. We have what are called channels, and channels are made to essentially tag a web chat. If you want to have a different channel on maybe more of a quote page than you do on more of the service page, you can have different chats, and then you can assign different people to those channels so they're getting notifications versus others. And that way, if you have bigger teams, you can kind of split out who's going to be working on which channels. And then you can filter those channels here as well. So you can look, some of these aren't named, web or sales. I should probably name them better for my test here. But then let's go and look at web, because that's the one that we're doing now. We have the ability for you to customize the message at the top. So you can change the header, the welcome message. You can change the primary color. You can change the position of where it is. I'm going to actually make this, now that I don't need so many pages, I'm going to just change the size of this for you. You can, here we'll just close this in the preview. You can put that to the bottom left, the bottom right, top right, wherever it is based upon things. Every website has different buttons and things. So we want to give you some choices, right? Then you can make sure the color matches your logo colors or brand colors. All right, so that's that. Now also, online hours are a really neat thing. We give you the ability, I'm just moving this down a little bit. You set the time zone that you're in, that your website, that you are going to be servicing them from. Essentially, what is the time zone of the hours that we're going to put down here? Where are we at? We're Tuesday. Now, funny thing is, if I remove this and then I hit save and continue, immediately you'll see that the customer has a notification that says, looks like you've missed us. Please leave your phone number, email address, and we'll get back to you right away. And you can customize that message. So let's go back up to online hours, and you can change that message for you. Let's go ahead and put 8 to 5 back on there, and our message goes away. So you can see that we have real-time communication back with the settings of things. Some of the things are cached online, take a little bit of time, like the colors and things like that. But settings like online hours go immediately, which is really, really neat. And we'll continue to enhance the online hours and give you some more features, things to do when you're not available. But this seems to be working really well as of right now. So we happen to have Jurgen's Insurance open for larger hours just because we use it for our demo, but you can change those to be anything that you would like. In fact, you can have multiple groups. So if you want to have a lunch hour in here, what you would do is you would have 2 times, maybe 8 to noon, and then 1 to 5 or something like that. Also archive. So we have the ability of archiving chat transcripts, and you can have an address that's going to get a transcript of all of the chats, and also you can send them to the person who's assigned to the employee. and that goes 90 minutes after the last message. The reason that we do that is because we don't want to send an email after every message, right? So we send it after 90. And then here's where you select the domain that you're going to run it on. Debug mode is something that's really nice for people that want to add it to their website, but they don't necessarily want to show it to visitors yet. So you can put in a little special mode that allows your team to test it and use it without rolling it out to your customers. And then we have the nice embed code. Now, the neat thing about this is if you're already using our testimonial widget, really all we're doing is we're adding another line, which is just this load web chat and a couple of style sheets. And otherwise, it's very similar to your testimonial widget. So if you've added the testimonial widget, you can add this. And it uses the same JavaScript framework and everything. So we just enhance that to make it work for you without really any changes other than just adding this load web chat line. So super easy to do and add. We've worked with Forge 3 recently to add this to their website, customers' website. So I know that they're ready for it. They're using it. That's one place that is already ready to go with this code, and they know how all of that works. So online hours and the setup, very super simple, easy to get going, and our account managers can also walk you through all of this as well. Let me see, John, multiple languages for our customers, different pages, different languages. Yes, you can have a different chat. That's where channels would be really, really useful for you, because you can change all of everything that I just showed you. You can change the header, you can change the intro, you can change all of that stuff, and then embed the chat widget on those pages. So multiple languages, yes, we've thought about that. And then you assign them to who they'd be. Actually, let's look at name and access. Let me show you how all of that works. Here's the name, and then you can have sort of a primary employee, and then also you can add or remove employees to that specific channel as well. So that's how you would do that. Beth, is this included in the plan that includes texting? We'd have to look at the exact plan that you're on, but let me go to my next slide here, and I'm going to answer that question. Slides load 9. So if you're on our premium plan, this is included. We've added this onto the premium plan. Customers on other plans, talk with us about an upgrade. You need to be on our premium plan to use this, and they can walk you through all of the pricing and things like that. We're getting so many people on calls from different places. It's difficult to know what plan everybody is on, but just to give you an idea, let's actually go out to Rocket Referrals, and we'll look at our pricing so you can see the plans, and then I'll be able to show you exactly which plan I'm talking about. Screen. Sorry, I should have had this on a slide, but I didn't. Okay, so here's our plans. Of course, we always have no contracts or setup fees. This is the plan that has web chat, this premium plan here, which is $30 per employee, and then $180 for the first 3,000 contacts. Now, if you're not a Rocket Referrals customer right now, and you're looking at just web chat, what I would tell you is you would pay this for web chat alone, plus all of the other things that we have in Rocket Referrals. We really want our product to be a no-brainer. And we hope that we've built that. And when you consider all of the different things that we offer, web chat's a very, very, very good value. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to go back to my slides. Sorry, it takes just a second here. For people who are not Rocket Referrals customers today, if you're already working with someone, just talk to them. Also, rocketreferrals.com/demo is going to always give you the ability to sign up. But I would strongly encourage that, number one thing, people that are on premium plan today, you already are, have this in your plan. So call and get it set up. We want to help you get this going and help you get it set up. and use, working for you. John has a question. Can the website automatically archive as an activity in our client database software Vertafore? John, yes, we are working on that. If you are on Vertafore Client Communications, by the way, we are going to have an add-on for web chat, and we will make that available when we have the archive ability ready. And it's near complete. When that's ready, it will be available as an add-on inside of Vertafore Client Communications, and that feature will be available for you. Including plan. Let me see. I'm just going through questions. Please ask any other questions that you have. If I have another chat on my website, do I need to remove that before adding your web chat? Yes, this is a new web chat tool. So it's really made to be its own thing, and that's how we are able to get all of the tracking and all of the read receipts and viewing indicators and live typing and all of that kind of stuff. That's how we're able to do that. So you would replace it. Now, if you want to use it for a portion of your website, maybe set up, if you already have this in your plan, you want to create a web chat channel for one portion, then you can use that as well. So let's go over to questions. I think I answered all of those. I should mark them answered. Kara, how does the contact linking work if we only have active customers integrated and not our prospects? Right, Kara. So what would happen then is when you get a prospect that comes in, you would label them as a prospect. So if you don't have them in Rocket Referrals, then obviously we don't know who they are. And if you're not using us to communicate with your prospects, then we wouldn't be able to do that linking. So when they come into your website and they start a chat with you, you can tag them at that point so you know who they are. I think you might want to consider about using Rocket Referrals for prospects. We have some really awesome prospect campaigns, and things that are going to help you win those. And the integration that we have with web chat and texting and all of that might be something that could help you win more business from those prospects as well. Yes, Tyler, it does work on WordPress and works on essentially any website. It's very framework agnostic. We built every single piece of this thing to work on just a single HTML page. So you don't need to worry about it impacting anything. The chat module is not a standalone product, Carrie. You do need to have Rocket Referrals, the full platform to be able to use this. And that's because this was really made to enhance that product. The way that we go about everything that we do is what's the best way to communicate with customers as a whole. And, we are, that's just our vision. That's kind of how we go about it, because we know that when you're communicating with people across the board on different ways, and you do it in a really thought out manner, you're the most effective. I think of it I kind of like to put it in this terms. When you're shopping for computers, we're kind of like the Apple computer, where we've built all of the internals and we know how everything works really well together, so you get the best possible experience on the outside and on the inside. And so that's why we go about it that way. Melissa asks if it's similar to Talkify. If Talkify is a web chat, then yes, we're similar to that. I'm a little unfamiliar with it. Is it better? I mean, I have to say it's better. I think that it is, but there's pluses and minuses of every platform, quite honestly. So, to Melissa, if you want to have a conversation around which tool to use, I would love to have that with you or someone on my team. And what I can promise you is we're not going to take a biased perspective on that. We really do want what's best for you. And so if you're using a specific feature in there that's really important, we would be the first to say, yeah, continue to use Talkify, because that's what's going to work best for you. However, if you're looking for a tool that's going to integrate with existing communications that you have through Rocket Referrals, and is going to have that sort of consolidated, unified platform to be able to text, chat, and email in one view, and all of the other things I showed, then maybe Rocket Referrals is the answer. So it really depends. I asked. Okay, Carrie, gotcha. Sorry, I answered before. Let me see. I think I've got all the questions. If I missed your question, if you want to just pop it up into the questions or chat again. Okay, so if a client starts a chat, will the system refer to the CSR employee that is assigned to that chat in our system? Let's. I want to answer it with a couple of different perspectives. One, yes, you'll be able to assign that to the primary contact. Also, the other thing is you can reassign it if you need to. So if that person isn't available that day or they can't get back to it, because web chat is something that's more real time, right? So we don't necessarily have all of the employee schedules and what's going on. So we also bring that web chat, up to several employees. So we'd recommend that you assign several employees to that channel so they can all see the web chats. But we do show who the primary contact is. The primary employee is associated with that person so that they know that's who they should be working on. So it's kind of a difficult question, and it really depends. Okay. Oh, another question. Do I need to have Rocket Referrals open on a browser? How do I get notified when there's a new web chat? So one of the neat features we have when you first log in, you'll be notified of browser notifications, and those browser notifications, will work when you have the tab open or not. So those browser notifications are available. Actually, I think right now you do need to have it open. We're working on the ability for you not to have it open, but we recommend keeping it open anyway. If you're going to use the web to respond, having that tab open so that you're quick and easy to answer it is there. But also, I'd highly recommend using our mobile app because that has web chat built into it and is a really good way of getting notifications as well. So we highly recommend that. And again, we're going to have Slack and Microsoft Teams integration that will bring that notification to you as well. So that's just another way that's going to help you. Awesome, great questions, awesome. Dion, yes, we would love to have somebody to chat with you. So if you could, why don't you, Dion, Yana on my team is going to have somebody reach out. Thank you for taking that. We'll probably private message you on this platform to let you know who to talk to or to get your email. I just don't want to ask you to put it in chat. Otherwise, hundreds of other people will get it. So. All right, I think I'm through everything that I had. Oh, I just saw another question pop up. Are chat conversations with customers tracked in Hawksoft? So, Chris, this is one of the things that with Sidecar, with Hawksoft, you'll be able to see all of the conversations for a customer right alongside, the window for in Sidecar. Next to Hawksoft, sorry. So Sidecar is a very unique thing for Hawksoft that we have, and we love it. And then you can use the email archive tool to get those emails into more of a long-term storage. Okay, I think we are good. Let me see. Again, for people that are new to Rocket Referrals, please schedule a demo. rocketreferrals.com/demo. For people that are existing customers and you're on premium, talk to an account manager. They're ready to help you. They're prepared. They're ready to go on this. So they're good. And then also people on other plans, talk with them about upgrades and which plans are available. And they'd love to have that conversation with you and help you pick the right plan. Kim, sorry, I just saw another question come in. Will web chat set up in Rocket Referrals on the account level? Kim, I'm going to try and, I think by account level, you might have multiple locations. So web chat is something that you would set up across for each location. So each location would have a different web chat. So if you have a web chat and different pages on your website and that kind of thing, you can create a different channel for different locations and all kinds of things like that. So that would be one of those where we would want to talk with you about how your website is set up and how you really want to offer web chat and how you're going to support it and things like that. And we can help you figure out the best way to set it up. Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. So I'm going to start to wrap this up. And again, we're going to be sending out the recording for you. So look for that in your email. It was a lot of fun to have everybody on the call again today. And hopefully we'll continue to do these webinars. So I'm always looking for feedback. If you want to reply to any of the emails that you get about this, just let us know what you think. Or as they say on YouTube, like and subscribe, even though there's no like or subscribe. But if you do have feedback, I want to hear it so that we can be better. So it's awesome to have everybody. I'm going to go ahead and hit end on the webinar now, and you all have a fantastic rest of your day and a good week. We'll talk to you later.